Thanks, Elliot. I'm Scott Haines. I'm the Director for Campus Recreation. I have the great privilege of our department overseeing the Special Event Recreation Center that will be completing year 14 on July 9th. July 9th is a special day because that's my birthday also, so that was the day we opened up, so kind of cool. And I only had a complaint by 6:05 a.m. that morning of some of the equipment, so the first day we opened. Great. Our fee was created through a referendum that we had with our students in collaboration with BSG when they had their elections and voting on their fee back in 2012. And so it was $75 a year or $3.13 a credit hour. Since then, we've had the two increases. One was what we already referenced we had one a couple of years ago where we got a portion of one of the fee requests. So we've went up $9 in 14 years. So we're up to $3.50 or $84 per year. We have a 30% overhead charge. Shocking alert to everybody. When SUNY or the state gives you money to build facilities, they don't give you money to operate. And so when the fee was created, 30% of it was, the plan was to return it back to campus to help offset some of the costs. Some of the costs, not even close to all the costs. Things like additional housekeeping support, maintenance, lights, water, toilet paper, all those good things. So the fee is charged to all undergraduate and graduate students unless the course is entirely online, so they are not charged. Some of the things that typically go into this fee, and the majority of it is our student employment. So I think the question Dan had asked, we have 119 students who work in our department. That was last year, and they accumulated 24,000 hours in the work for us. So that helps offset their expenses when they're going to university. We also have 2 graduate assistants, and not really anymore. Fitness equipment repair and replacement and other recreation equipment that really has gone away because of expenses. So as I mentioned, the fee was in 2012. Minimum wage back then was $7.25. We're now up to $16. So the $9 really hasn't kept up with the minimum wage increase, and we're anticipating it continuing to increase. Just a snapshot, kind of a comparison from when CERC was built and the fee was introduced and current. That 30% maintenance fee is still there, or maintenance charge. Used to be about half of the fee went towards student employment. We had more student employees back then too. We've made some adjustments over a period of time. We went from about 180 students down to 119, as I mentioned. We did some equipment and replacement right away. We helped support some of our campus partners, even though we had brand new equipment with full warranties. The first couple of years we replaced equipment and gave them equipment that was 1 year old, so the KISP and the athletics to help them out as they didn't have budgets to be able to do some of that stuff. And then we built reserves up for a couple of years, which I'll show you how we're saving grace right now. And so now it primarily is student employment, and I have a slide that shows how much we spent last year. Student government was also a great partner with us. And so they give us $45,000 for programming and other things that we are able to do within our department. And then also $100,000 goes to club sports. And so they fully fund our club sport program. We went from just over 900 students to, we've increased again by 106, and we've added 3 new clubs. So we're over 1,000 unique students. Some of them are on more than one sport. A few of them are, excuse me, actually athletes as well as being on our club sport programs. We also have a second fee where we rent out the facility, our facilities. The ice arena is under our supervision, and so we have a lot of partners in the community that we generate revenue from. Also, Eric had mentioned how they moved out of the SUNYAC. One of the benefits of them moving out of the SUNYAC is we now host their SUNYAC championship for track. So SUNYAC is paying us to utilize our facility because they don't have a place to go. So a nice little revenue generator that we'll see this weekend. So the parking lot will be a little more full, FYI, if you're on campus this weekend. That charge, there's an overhead charge of 16%, which is a little over $60,000 this past year. We have 2 full-time lines and 3 part-time lines on this, and with Fringe, it's about $264,000. So when we roll in the overhead money that's charged to this accounts before we get to take advantage of other things within it, it's a little over $325,000. So financial plan, we're planning to do a refresh. The fitness center is very busy. It's utilized by a lot of people, and it's a great recruiting tool. The circ itself, our campus is a great recruiting tool. Let's face it looks fantastic. So we're going to be replacing, utilizing a lot of some of our reserves to replace a big chunk of the fitness equipment, and then also the university is supporting us in replacement of the fitness center floor. They're giving us 175. I'm hoping that the contractors I've been talking to will sharpen their pencils a little bit more, but probably a little bit will come out of our budget as well. Hoping to have it done this summer. If not, it'll be winter break. So that cost is going to be about $325,000 total. So student fee, we're asking for a $9 increase. Based on that, we'll generate $85,000 based on the projections that we have for enrollment for this upcoming year. So when we remove the 30%, we keep about $60,000. Again, minimum wage will come along, and then hopefully we'll be able to utilize some of that money also to replace equipment. Next year we'll start replacing cardio equipment again, so more to come. When Circ opened, there was a $1.7 million budget for FF&E, furniture, fixtures, and equipment. It was fun. I got to purchase a lot of things that we needed for the facility. Tables, chairs, not so much fun, but a reality that's needed. All the equipment that we utilize for graduation, all the fitness equipment. Some of that stuff, it does have shelf lives. And so, as I mentioned, the facility will be 14 years old. Campus has supported us a little bit with replacement and adding some new furniture in the Circ, and tables and chairs, and some of the responsibilities back on us for some of the other sporting equipment. Due to the minimum wage increase, we've had to adjust. As I mentioned, we first started out with 180 student employees. We've adjusted our hours. We have the technology to be able to review our usages when we're busy, when we're not busy, and made decisions to ensure that we weren't impacting folks. We've adjusted some of our hours, so that has impacted some of our student employment piece, but it's also helped us with our budget. We did not replace 2 graduate assistants a couple of years ago, and that work is being taken over by professional staff. Student consultation and other ways. So we have a Club Sport Executive Council that I'll be doing this presentation with next week. I did the Campus Recreation Advisory Board on Monday, and obviously we're here. We'll talk to the student government and present it to my staff as well. So I do 5 presentations similar to this one. Future planning. So the ice arena. We've done some renovations in the rink. We still need a few more. We put, with help from Mike's team, we got money to put in a new scoreboard. Also from a Reliant Bank, also with a little bit of money from the Wegmans money that was coming in. But we still need the glass and boards replaced. The glass is probably the second worst in the county. And so it's just time for it to be replaced, and the boards are starting to move around a little bit more. So we're working with Mike and his team, but you know, we're not at dire straits right now, but it's getting pretty to the point where we're going to have to address it fairly soon. We are asking for a new position, assistant director for competitive sports. As I mentioned, the growth in club sports. When Circle opened, we had 480 club sport participants, 18 teams, and we're more than double not necessarily in teens, but participants. There's an opportunity there. Our students retain much better, just like our student athletes. Like anybody who's active on campus, they typically retain, or their persistence rates are better, their grade point average in a lot of cases are better. And so we're going to work with Res Life. 68% of the students who are on club sport teams are actually in the res halls. And so it just seems like a natural partnership that was already there. So athletic trainer in some sort, we do a little bit of that right now. Some of it is on voluntary basis, or we hire an EMT to come in. But that is becoming a best practice that we're trying to work through. Campus Rec in the future will just ask for a $10 a year increase. So reserves. So in the past 2 years, or first 2 years, as I mentioned, CERC created some reserves. We didn't have to replace all the equipment that was there. And so knowing that this day would eventually come, a couple of years ago, we did replace or utilize some of that funding to replace a big chunk of fitness equipment. We didn't replace equipment for a couple of years because of uncertainty with budgets, and so we did a big purchase. One of the things was 13 treadmills. Does anybody use the Woodway treadmills upstairs by chance? Just a question. Well, how much does it cost? Those are about $15,000 each. Yeah, so they're tanks. They last forever, but they're expensive. And all of our cardio is expensive, and they last between 3 to 5 years. We're also going to use $37,500 from the student recreation fee account for equipment, and then the additional $25,000 from the other IFR account. Without this fee, we just wouldn't be able to operate. We wouldn't have a campus recreation program where a big portion of the students participate in campus recreation in one form or another. So since the fee was introduced, the university has collected $2.8 million in maintenance and overhead charges. And remember, that's at 30% and 16%, as well as our salary, some of the salaries that we pay, which is totaled over $5.5 million. We've employed over 1,700 students, earning wages of over $4 million, and all the lifelong skills that they come along with it. Our students really are, when they graduate, their abilities to go out and do good things is part of it's what we do, part of it's what all of you are doing with them as well. We've had over 200 students who participated in our practicum experience with us through sport management as well. And this is probably pretty small, but it just highlights. Last year we had a tremendous persistence rate with our student employees. 98.3% either graduated or came back to campus. We had 131 swipes, 131,000. We had, we celebrated our 2 million swipes last summer. So that's just people who we're tracking that utilize our facility. You think of all the other people that come in for graduations, high school graduations, commencements, all the athletic events. There's millions of people that have come and used the facility. Club sports participated in over 200 competitions last year. We're over 1,100 total participants. We added 3 new clubs. Bike share program, very popular. We're going to get that rolling out after spring break. There's a couple of days where it's going to tease our students a little bit with the weather, but we're not going to roll them out just for a day and then it get cold again. But we have 20 more bikes coming in for after spring break, so there'll be more around campus. And then persistence rates, a few of them, as we mentioned before, our persistence rates for all the things that we track is higher than the regular student body. And then lastly, intramurals, oddly enough, nationally it's on the decline a little bit. People are participating more in club sports, but we've seen growth there. And we're seeing growth again, but it was about a 14% participation growth this past year, but there's 25 different activities that we did with them. Questions, and I know because Eric took all the questions, you don't have any for me, so I'll drop the mic here.
Scott, does it cost the students, how much does it cost